Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden. In today's video, we're going to be going over the top 15 most overhated cars, in my opinion. Obviously, a lot of people in the car community tend to have colorful opinions when it comes to a lot of different cars, and these are the ones that I think they get a little bit too much hate. Now, some of the hate is justified. Almost every car has a little bit of hate that's justified. Like every one of them, it's like, it's something they're doing wrong. There's nobody's perfect type of deal. But these are the ones I think are like, when I see hate for them, I'm always just kind of like, really? Also, song of the day is called One by Metallica. Obviously, Metallica is a heavy metal. Well, would you call it heavy metal or rock and roll? I would call it heavy metal. But either way, it's a metal band. So if you don't like that kind of music, don't listen to it. But if you don't like this kind of music, or this song in particular, I don't like. What, do you have ears? Like, this is a banger. If you're a dude, if you're a girl, I can kind of get it, but if you're a guy and this song doesn't make you want to go street racing, it doesn't make you want to go commit a felony, like, you're probably just not a guy anymore. Like, this is just a good song, man. Just give it a listen. Okay, give it a listen. But without further ado, let's go right into it. Number 50. And that, my friends, is going to the Porsche 928. Hear me out. Porsche in general is a pretty well-respected brand. Like everybody, especially in the car community, like people in the car community really like Porsche. They're like the kind of brand where they're like supercars, sure, they're like the unobtainable supercars and everything, but it's not just for clout, right? It's clearly meant for like track purposes. But when it comes to the 928, I only see people making fun of its looks in particular. That's the big thing. These front engine Porsches in general do tend to look pretty weird, especially when you compare them to like the 911s. 911s just look so good that the front engine Porsches always just kind of, they never really nailed the looks. And I do understand where they're coming from. The 928 is definitely not like a great looking car. I'm not basking in glory of the 928, but it does its freaking job, and it does its job for a very, very small price tag for what Porsche is known for. I like them. And coming in at number 14 spot is a more new one, one that's, well, it got a lot of hate when it came out. I think people are starting to come around to this, thank God, and that's why I'm putting it here at the number 14 spot. It's the Toyota Supra Mark V. Again, when this car first came out, dude, oh my Lanta, there was every human being on planet Earth that called themselves a car enthusiast hated the Mark V Supra. If they didn't hate it for the obvious reason, which was the BMW engine, they hated it for the fact that it didn't look like the Toyota FT1 concept car that we all saw for like years from like Gran Turismo. Like, you know how Gran Turismo had that like Vision GT baloney go on, and they had all these car companies make futuristic cars? Toyota made one, and it was like their concept car of the Supra, but we didn't know that at the time. And so everybody was mad that it didn't look exactly like the concept. No car looks like the concept. I think it looks great. I think it looks very, very good. It's one of the better looking modern sports cars. And then on top of that, the BMW engine thing, I've already voiced my opinion on how I feel about that. But I personally, long story short, I personally think the BMW engine was a good idea. That's my honest opinion. Coming in at 13th place, however, and I guess I'll really quickly go over why I think it was a good idea. BMW makes incredible inline-six engines. They wanted to stay true to the inline-six platform that the Supra was known for. At the time, B58 was the best inline-six engine. I still think it is. And so they threw a B58 in there. I love BMW. I'm a big BMW fan, so that's why I had no problem with that. Either way, 13th place is a Toyota Prius. This is a stark contrast to the last two that we just talked about. Those two are still sports cars. The 928 is a Mark V Supra. Those are still sports cars, you know what I'm saying? The Prius is clearly not. And car guys like me and like you, we don't like cars that aren't sports cars most of the time. But cars like the Prius, dude, they're like everybody hated it because it was a hybrid, right? Like it was like one of the first mass-produced, very successful hybrids ever created. And so people hated that in the car community because we don't like EVs and stuff like that. But honestly, compared to what we have now, the Prius is fine. And because of cars like the Prius, that's the reason why we have cars like the Supra. And so I gotta give credit where credit is due. And it's an absolutely incredible option if you're just looking for a daily driver, and that's it. All right, coming in at 12th place is similar to the Mark V Supra, but it makes even less sense why people hate it in this chassis. It's the BMW 340i F30. The whole reason why people didn't like the BMW engine being in the Supra was because they wanted a Toyota engine in the Supra, which I guess kind of makes a little bit of sense. But this one, I don't get where the hate is. I honestly think the reason why people are starting to hate on 340i's is just because they're popular. Like, people always do that. They always feel like they have to be different. They have to like something, or they have to hate something that everybody else likes in the community that they're in. That's just not the case, man. The BMW 340i, whether it's the F30 or the G30, or G20, is it? Yeah, G20. No matter which platform it is an incredible car with an incredible motor, and it is just as good as these people are making it out to be. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The B58 is incredible. All right, coming in at 11th place, and this one personally insults me because obviously, you know, I owned this car, owned past tense, which breaks my heart every time I think of it. I really want another one. It's the Nissan 350Z, but more so the VQ platform as a whole. I'm just going to go with the 350Z though. But yeah, G35, 350Z, G37, 370Z, those cars. People hate them for one reason, and well, there's slightly two reasons, I guess. The big main reason why they hate them is because of the sound. They don't like how VQs sound, and I understand. I don't think they're the best sounding cars out there. V6s in general just usually don't sound that great, in my opinion. But that's not enough to take away from how good the car actually is. The other reason why they hate them is the community behind them. The community behind them does tend to be very obnoxious. They're very, very cheap cars, which is why I like them so much. They're one of the best, in my opinion, bang for your buck cars in the world right now. If you're a car guy, at least, I think they're incredible options. But unfortunately, that attracts a lot of people, obviously, that, you know, aren't the most mature, and so then they drive around in their VQs and be a nuisance, and it makes the rest of the world hate them. But a lot of the time, what happens is they actually start to say the car itself is bad, which is just not true. VQ is a good engine, and the cars that they put the VQ in were good cars. Just because the community behind them is not the best doesn't mean that it makes the car any worse. All right, coming in at the number 10 spot is another one that hits close to home, because for those who don't know, this was my first ever car when I was an 18-year-old. My father gave me one of these, the Chrysler PT Cruiser. Listen, I understand why people hate this car. I get it. They don't like it because of the looks. It looks really bad. It's one of the worst looking cars of all time. I agree. I 100% agree with that. Even after owning it for 4 years, I never got over the looks of it. I always hated the looks of a PT Cruiser, for sure. But after owning it for 4 years, it has easily been my most reliable car I've ever had. It had the most space. It was comfortable to drive. I miss this thing, and I'm not afraid to admit that, man. I would love to have another dirt cheap, just PT Cruiser out there, and I honestly think if you're looking for just a very dirt cheap car, and there's a regular guy, you don't care how it looks, you don't care about your like social status or whatever when it comes to your car, dude, the PT Cruiser is a great option for its price right now. You can find these things for dirt cheap because nobody, even people that aren't into cars, likes these cars. And so you can just pick them up, and you have, in my opinion, an actually really, really good car if you can get over the looks. All right, coming in at the number 9 spot is a car that I've always loved personally, but the rest of the community, you know, they tend to hate them. That's kind of the whole point of this video, I guess. The Subaru BRZ / Toyota GT86 / Scion FRS, whatever, that platform, the ZN platform, ZN6, ZN8s. Okay, so a lot of people that hate on the BRZ are the most like unintelligent car guys out there, because they're the type of car guys that thinks every car has to have 500 horsepower and from factory and just go fast in a straight line. That's not the case. Muscle cars do that, and they do that incredibly well, and there's really no point in even trying to make a Japanese car compete with that. Japanese cars do something different, and that is being lightweight and handling around very, 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 very tight corners really well, and the BRZ is incredible at that. A lot of people are like, oh, it only has 200 horsepower. It also only weighs like 2,700 pounds, dude, in 2025. Like, that's enough to have a ton of fun. Coming in at 8th place, however, is another Subaru, actually. And this is a very hot take for Mark Roden, because I already don't like Subaru WRXs, and I'm going with the new Subaru WRX. I don't know what we're going to call it yet. Everybody, I don't know what the I is. You know, the last generation was a Raptor I. Nobody's come up with an I for this one. So I'm just going to call it the new one. But yeah, everybody hates this car for one reason and one reason only. It looks so boring, it's unbelievable. For a sports car, this does not look anything like a sports car whatsoever. Like, it looks just like a regular old car. It's not an eye catcher at all, because of the plastic. I don't know why they were doing that. They I don't know what they were thinking. They tried to make it look like a Crosstrek almost, and it just did not work. But there have been people out there that have changed the plastic over and paint matched it to the rest of the car. And when they do that, the car actually looks really, really good and is a pretty nice looking car. It's unfortunate that you have to do modifications to the car just to make it look okay, but that's unfortunately the case with this car. Coming in at 7th place is an obvious one. I feel like most people are going to think about this. The Nissan GTR R33. It's unfortunate. It's a byproduct of being stuck between two legends. It has a great older brother and a great younger brother. It's the middle child that was just completely forgotten about. Nobody talks about the R33 anymore, because realistically, I get it. Why would you? You know what I mean? The R32 is a lighter weight platform and is better for the handling aspect. However, if you want the better tuning aspect and the better engine overall, then you get the R34. The R33 is just like a weird middle ground that doesn't really work. It's also really heavy. It's one of the bigger ones, and it definitely doesn't look as great as the other two. but it's still a freaking GTR, man, with an RB26. Like, this is still an incredible car. Imagine if the R34 or R32 didn't exist. The R33 would be legendary. Everybody would be talking about it. Everybody would want it. But yes, it does have two people, you know, older and younger car brothers that are better than it, but that doesn't mean that the car overall is a bad car. It's still incredibly good. And coming in at the number 6 spot, however, is going to go to a supercar. I think this is the only supercar on this entire list, actually. The Lamborghini Huracan. I'm not too in tune with the supercar world. I'm going to make that very, very clear. I don't know if they have beef, you know, or Pagani guys calling out Koenigsegg guys. I don't know if that's happening or not. But the one thing I do see a lot of is, for some reason in particular, the Huracan. People hate the Huracan, and I think the reason why is because they see a lot of influencers, when they make it, they want to buy a Lambo. They want that Lambo badge, and one of the cheapest Lambos you can buy is a Huracan. So it seems like a lot of the people that have Huracans are fake it kind of people. They're not real car guys. They're buying it for the clout. They're buying it for the tag. But yet again, just like I said earlier with the 350Z, the crowd around the car does not make the car bad. The Huracan is still an incredible car, and there's a reason why a lot of influencers buy this car when they make it. It's a very, very good budget supercar option, and it's incredible in that sense. And so hating the car because of the people that buy them is stupid in my opinion. The Huracan is a great car. Coming in at 5th place, I'm going to be 100% honest, I don't even get what the hate is for this car whatsoever. It's the Dodge Challenger Hellcat. This is like the complete opposite of the BRZ, guys. Like, the BRZ, the people that hate the BRZs are typically the big American muscle fanboys that are like, thing can't even go, it only has 200 horsepower, man. But then the people that like hate the Hellcat are like the people that like the BRZ, and they're like, well, this thing can't take corners, man. It's like, obviously not. It's a Hellcat. It's a Challenger. Name one time when a Dodge Challenger was a good cornering race car. It just never happened. They're obviously supposed to be good in a straight line. That's the whole point of them. Like, yeah, this car is incredible at what it set out to do. And it does it really, really well. The Hellcat does it very incredibly well. And again, maybe it's the clout. You know, everybody wants a Hellcat nowadays, no matter who you are. And maybe that's why people hate them. They want to be different again. But personally, I don't really care. If everybody likes the car that I like, that's fine. If no one likes the car that I like, that's fine. And I think if you care about that, man, goodness, great. You need to actually like touch grass. You need to roll around in the grass. Coming in at 4th place, though, pretty much the exact same thing as the Subaru BRZ we talked about earlier, but with a little bit of a twist, the Mazda Miata NA. Yet again, it's the same thing with the whole idea of, oh, well, it only makes 135 horsepower, the car's slow in a straight line, blah, blah, blah. But it also has a little bit of a bonus there, because they also don't like it in the sense of how it looks. They think it's too girly looking, it looks too, like, you know, feminine. It's a very small car. It has the pop-up headlights with the smile face, and it is true, you know, the women do like the Miatas. They think they are cute little cars, but that doesn't mean anything whatsoever, dude. I don't care at all. Women also, you know what cars women also like? McLarens. You know what cars I like? McLarens. What are you talking about? You think I'm gonna care? If anything, that makes it cooler. Like, now I have guys that like my car and girls that like my car. So I got more people liking my car. The Miata is a cool car, and it does its job incredibly well, just like the BRZ earlier. It's great at handling. It's incredible at handling. And if you don't see that, that's your problem. Coming in at 3rd place, you're gonna have to hear me out, because on this channel we don't diss these cars ever. We love these cars over on the Mark Roden channel, but on other channels I do see them dissed quite a bit. Honda Civics, specifically speaking, the 7th and 8th generations, but overall just in general. The amount of times, how many times in life have you heard people like diss Civics? You know, like, oh my god, that guy drives a 99 Civic, that guy drives a, oh my, you drive a Civic, I drive a Bentley, in like a rap song or something, you know? Like, it's always like a slight diss. Like, the Civic is always that car that people always just kind of diss no matter what. But us, you know, people on the Mark Roden channel, we know that Civics can be incredible cars, and we love them. But the vast majority of people out there, they do not. They think Civics are just like the most boring cars ever. Dude, if I was a billionaire, I would have probably like 5 to 20 Civics in my lineup. Like, I love Civics. In the 7th and 8th gens, the 7th gen, it does kind of make a little bit of sense. It's not the best car out there for making power, and that's what you kind of like with Civics. That's the whole point of buying them. But the 8th gens, I don't get the hate behind those at all. In the car community, people don't like those cars. And it's like, why? They're exactly what you would want out of a Civic, but with more modern tech. All right, this is the biggest case of I want to be different in the entire world of cars, because 2nd place is going to the Toyota Supra Mark IV. There is not a soul out there that hates the Mark IV Supra, that hates it because they actually like don't like something about the car. Every single one of them hate this car because they want to be different. I guarantee it. There's what is there to hate about the Mark IV Supra? Okay, the only thing I can understand is the looks. That's a personal opinion type of thing. If you don't like how it looks, that's 100% up to you. And I understand it. If you're gonna say you don't like the looks of this car, that's totally fine. I get it. But besides that, the platform of this car is absolutely incredible. Is it the 2JZ that 100% carries it to the top? Yeah. Yeah, it absolutely is. But that's like literally the heart and soul of a car. That's like being like, oh my god, the McLaren F1 isn't good. It's only the engine that made it good. Like, okay, it's still incredible. Just like the 2JZ is insane. It is going down in history as one of the best, most legendary motors of all time, period. There's nothing you can do about it, buddy. Sorry to break the news to you. Honorable mention time, and because I still hate them, but I do still think they're a little overhated. It's a love-hate relationship. The EVs, it's EVs, man. Like, because it's like one day, it depends on what side of the bed I wake up on. One day I'll wake up on the left side of the bed and I'm like, I freaking hate EVs. Everything about EVs, I want them gone. I don't want to ever hear them again. I don't want to see them again. I hate them to the moon. And then the other day I wake up on the right side of the bed and I'm like, okay, I get why the regular person buys it. It's a good money saving method. You know, that's all they care about is saving some money. They don't got to pay for gas anymore. I get it. But at the same time, it's like, I just don't know. I don't know. I personally would still rather, I know this is messed up to say because again, a lot of people are just trying to save some money, but I personally would just rather see EVs disappear, man. I don't like them. However, coming in at first place, in my opinion, easily the most overhated car in the world, especially for car guys, is literally any minivan. Yep, I just lost 100 subscribers. I just saw 100 subscribers disappear off the face of my channel. I know it's gonna happen, but I'm not afraid, man. I'm not afraid of admitting it. Minivans are incredible cars, even for a car guy. People, I feel like, unless you have, like, I'm not trying to insult you, but genuinely, unless you have no friends, then a minivan is only going to be pretty helpful. Like, if I want to go out with my friends and want to go do something, want to go to the casino, we want to go see a movie, we want to go kart racing, or we want to go to the mall or something, if we want to go do something, the amount of times where I'm like, I wish I had a freaking Honda Odyssey right now, and I could just go and pick them all up, drive down there with my boys. Life would be, it's such a practical vehicle, it's unbelievable. And like, yeah, it's not a race car. Have your race car on the side. Who cares? Do you actually think you can only own one car? Like, just buy a cheap Odyssey to drive every once in a while. Oh, I love them. I love minivans. I want one so bad, just so I can, like, socialize more. It's a good socializing tool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video of the top 15 most overhated cars in Mark Roden. That's me. Opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like these. Let me know what other videos I'd like to see in the comment section down below. Check the links in the description for all my social medias and all that good mumbo jumbo. And more importantly, let me know what other content you guys would like to see. I went to my buddy, you guys remember Zach and Ben? If you're OGs of the Mark Roden channel, you guys probably remember Zach and Ben. They used to be in my vlogs back when I was building up the 350Z and stuff like that. They would be in those videos. I've been hanging out with them again because they got a shop again. So I've been going down to their shop and just hanging out, sitting around, just chatting and just doing stuff with cars, just shooting the S word with cars, if you will. And Zach got a Miata, so we've just been like building up the Miata, just having fun. And I was like, you know what? One of these times I'm gonna have to bring my GoPro down and just start recording. Do you guys think that'd be fun? I mean, it's probably realistically not gonna be that fun. It's literally just gonna be like, hey, we're at a shop and we're doing shop things. But maybe it'll be fun. I don't know. I was just throwing the idea out there to see if anybody bites. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Das Vidania. Go listen to One by Metallica if you haven't already. That song is so good. And have a nice night.